want to build our capacity to hold more in our life, call in more, we have to do some somatic healing. Watch this video. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please click the little subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications when I release new videos. And if you've been with me for a while, thank you so much and welcome back. I want to talk about this key topic. 2025 was the year of the snake. Many of you guys know it's about shedding, but it's not about shedding specific things so much. It was more about shedding old identities, shedding childhood wounds, integrating that, shedding old patterns. Maybe you're shedding the relationship that was a toxic cycle. Maybe you're shedding the fact that you want to make more money now. So you're going to shed that fear of the upper limits issue, of that fear of shining because of shame. So you shed that, right? So 2026 is going to require that we build capacity. And this is what I mean. All through 2025, yes, I did build a lot of things in 2025. My retreat, I got my book deal, all these things started happening, but it wasn't happening because I was doing and avoiding or denying or numbing pain. It was because I had a lot of childhood wounds that came up to revisit me, to be shed or integrated. And what I did during that time is I held the capacity for those things to be here, but I kept on the track of the dreams and goals that I had. Now, here's what I want to explain about that. A lot of people are DMing me lately saying, can you explain more about how to do it? Yes, here's the video. What I did without even knowing I was doing it. There was times where I was like, why is this coming up again? But I just kept doing what I was doing. What I was doing is I have this special room downstairs in my house. I call it the Candace room, literally. I do a lot of my writing in there and processing and stuff. It's my own space. And I would go in that room and I would feel it and I would cry it out and I would kind of look back at the memories that would come up with that trauma, with that feeling. And instead of identifying with it, which I know too much about that now, I'm not going to identify with old pain. A lot of people get stuck in it because they think that that's just what's going on. But I don't identify with it. I don't attach a meaning to anything that I'm feeling. Like, oh, that's coming up again. Maybe I'm doing something wrong or this is happening again for a reason. No, it's coming up because it's stuck emotion that needs to be released somatically through emotion. So I don't do that. I don't identify with it. I don't attach meaning to it. And I definitely don't look for evidence that this is still what I deserve or still a truth for me, right? When we have stuck emotions in the form of trauma or childhood wounding, they like to tell us a story about how scary it is to shine, about how scary this big, bold move that you want to make is because you might fail or get rejected or be abandoned or be proven wrong, whatever, right? But it feels that way because it's a stuck experience from a childhood experience that you didn't have capacity to understand or process yet. So it's stuck. And so what we don't realize, we think, oh, I know better now, it's gone. No, that's thinking your way through a wound. It doesn't work. We have to somatically really function through it. And this is what I mean. That feeling will come up. Do it with me, right? That feeling will come up. It's reminding me of pain. What I did is I soothed my inner child and I was like, wow. I really understand from this adult perspective what you were going through. I have so much compassion, empathy, love for that little child. And the good news is we're going to do it differently now. So really soothing the self, teaching the inner child that you are safe going for these bigger goals and desires now. These dreams that you have. You're so afraid of your upper limits. You're so afraid of your shine because of these feelings. But when we tell the feelings, I'm going to allow you to be acknowledged and stay here, and I'm going to soothe you while you're here, and I'm going to continue on my path. What happens inevitably, you're not going to feel an okay immediately. You're going to feel a no, we're scared, don't do it. The closer you get to something you want, the bigger this emerges, right? But it's because it's so scared. So it's building momentum on the fear of the past. So to really hold this in the proper capacity, we have to say, I understand exactly why you would have felt that way at 5, 8, 15, 20, whatever the age is, right? Even if you don't remember, just put that acknowledgement there. And also, I know that I deserve all my desires. And I also know that any rejection that you're afraid of isn't personal. I also know that if it fails, it doesn't mean I did it wrong. You have to allow yourself to reparent your little self. When you do that, what magically starts to happen is as you're taking those aligned action steps to the thing that you desire that scares the shit out of you, your inner child starts to see that you're doing it, meaning I deserve it because she's doing it. She's showing me, or he's showing me, I deserve it because she's actually doing it. And when you do it, what starts happening is your inner child starts to feel more safe because it starts to trust you more to be able to do things. And also be kind to yourself if you do mess up, if you do make a mistake, if you are rejected. See, we're not afraid of being rejected or abandoned. We're afraid that we're going to reject and abandon ourselves when others do. So it's really how you relate to the issue is the issue. So if I go after a big goal and something, a launch fails or whatever, let's just say, right? So what? I'll do another one. Constantly telling your inner child this isn't personal. It's not because you're wounded or not worthy or anything. It's just called life, right? And so as we rework this and we build new momentum towards the bigger things we want in life, and we're allowing our inner child to still feel what it feels, not avoiding it, denying it, numbing it, rejecting it, but letting it be there with you while you do it, they start to relax those feelings because they see that you're actually working the process. This is one of the biggest things I want to be teaching this year because the more I have healed my inner child, the more the bigger things feel not scary at all. They actually just feel like, of course I'm doing that. Everything becomes a yes for me instead of, misperceiving something because the old wound is telling me a story. I'm open to a new perception of what that could be instead. So one way you can check yourself is if you're like, I don't want to put myself out on a limb. That person that I look up to might reject me. I want you to let them reject you and then rewrite the story of why they rejected you. They might be sick. They might have had a bad day. Showing your inner child it's never personal. It's only always projection. You might not be ready for something, but they'll give you feedback and then you'll get yourself ready, right? There's never a dead end. It's the dead end we give ourselves because we're afraid of what could happen, right? So building capacity for more is being able to have a bigger window of tolerance. I tolerated my inner child stuff this year while I was building more. And what happened when I did the scariest things, like building my first retreat, was really scary for me because I was like, wow, it's a lot of people that are depending on me for an amazing experience. And by the way, I'm going to make it epic. And also that's so scary. And what happened when I was in the midst of my retreat in the Caribbean with beautiful souls around me is I realized I got to feel the embodiment of the presence of what I'd become, not what I was afraid of never becoming. Really hear that. As we're present in these experiences, instead of, getting stuck and not doing that, we'll always stay in this identity. We have to do it anyway. Even though it's scary, even though it might not work, whatever happens is working for you, right? Let's imagine I had a big launch and it failed. Maybe I needed it to fail to feel my worth regardless of performance, right? That's a great example. Or maybe you really fell in love with someone and they don't love you back. You needed to feel that you can love yourself anyway because this person probably wasn't right for you in the end. There's so many examples we can give ourselves like this, right? I had one client that she had her identity so attached to the money that she made. And this year she didn't make as much money. And I said to her, instead of just seeing that as the evidence that I'm unworthy or I'm not good enough, see what you can love anyway. And she came back to me a couple days later and she said, I needed to know that I'm worthy of my own love regardless of what I produce. So how we relate to the issue is the issue, right? Everything is always working out for us, but we have to get the lesson instead of having our ego attached to what the outcome is, right? So building capacity is allowing all this old stuff to come in and not pull us back, but to bring it with us forward. We don't detach from these parts of ourselves. We integrate it. So we start to, all parts of our body starts to trust us so that we make bigger, bolder moves and it's not scary, it's exciting. Guys, I have so many fun things coming up this year. I want to tell you a little bit about it. Obviously, my one-on-one containers are open for the beginning of the year. I have openings. My inner work, you can now sign up for months at a time or just one sign up, right? So you can do 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. Inner Work is my small container I teach live, the only course I teach live all year long. I have my new retreat coming in May. Check out the waitlist in the Caribbean. I have my book coming out in April. I'm so excited to share that with you guys. I have my business mentorship that is open right now. All my things are actually open right now because it's the beginning of the year. So, Truth Room membership, where you get to do healings with me somatically every single week, is open. Check it all out. Please leave me comments of what the heck you're welcoming in 2026. I also want to know what you're having issues with holding capacity for, and I will walk you through that in the comments. So please share this video with at least one person you think it could help. Go say hi to me on Instagram. I'm doing short reels like this every single day. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I can't wait for this year.